All right. Welcome everyone to Spoilercon 2020 Online. You can't see me just yet, but there I am. Hello. My name is Talir, and I have the honor of being the chair of the planning committee for Spoilercon 2020. So that means I get to be the first to welcome all of you to this event that we have been working on. Welcome everyone to Spoilercon. We're all here to celebrate Fox and Raven Media and its book celebrating podcasts, the Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast, the Broken Earth Spoilers podcast, and the Mistborn Spoilers podcast. Most of us here are Wheel of Time fans, but all fantasy fans are welcome here. So welcome to Spoilercon. On behalf of the planning committee, I can't tell you how excited we are to kick off this event that we've been planning in one way or another for a year. As Seth Jacobson, our host, is going to talk to about in just a moment, it was a really tough decision to move this event online, but the ability to welcome many of you from all around the world to this event who might not have been able to join us if we were in person in Portland, and the ability to include so many content creators just makes this all worthwhile, even as we're dealing with continued quarantine because of the pandemic. I'm going to do some thank yous, and then I'm going to throw it over to Seth to welcome you on behalf of Fox and Raven Media. Then other members of the planning committee are going to join us in these opening ceremonies to walk you through things like the rules for the weekend, how to use the Discord server for those of you that are new, our really exciting schedule of events that we've been working so hard on, how to participate in and vote on the costume contest, the silent auction, the trivia games, how to join us on social media. We're hoping we're going to answer all of your questions. At the end of the opening ceremonies, if we haven't answered your question, please go ahead and put those in the YouTube chat. Our moderators are in the chat. They will be watching for questions. They will feed them to us so that we can make sure that any questions you have get answered right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just start sharing some slides so that we can do some really, really important thank yous. So bear with me for just 1 second. Hopefully we'll all be able to see these in a moment. Present. Okay, so first, in terms of thank yous, I really want to thank my planning committee. Their names are listed here. Every one of them has been instrumental in making this event happen. I'm often the face of the planning committee, but that by no means means that I am responsible for all the wonderful things that you're going to get to participate in over the next day and a half. Many of our committee members stepped up and took on jobs they never knew they'd have to take on thanks to moving to a digital event. But every single one of them has been there every step of the way to make sure that we're bringing you the best event that we possibly could. So I want to first give them my tremendous thanks for all of their hard work that they have been doing so far and that they will be continuing to do throughout this weekend. So thank you to my planning committee. I'd also like to thank all of our guests and panelists that will be joining us over the next day and a half. So many people, from whether they are Wheel of Time content creators, Kate Redding and Michael Kramer, who most of you will know are the audiobook narrators for the Wheel of Time series, as well as for many Brendan Sanderson books. Several of the artists of the Wheel of Time community will be joining us, and many other content creators from various podcasts and YouTube videos and websites will all be joining us this weekend. And we're just so tremendously thankful that you're joining us and really looking forward to having you as our guests. I'd also really like to thank those who volunteered to be our game runners and scorekeepers for trivia, as well as those who are modding our Discord server and YouTube. Thank you so much for volunteering to help us out this weekend. Of course, I want to thank our full farm podcast team, Seth, Aradia, Patrick, and we of course can't forget our Nibeless, Timber. And then just so many others have made this event possible. The team at JordanCon, who had much less time to put together their event and did a tremendous job and were willing to share some lessons learned with us. All those who are members of the Fox and Raven Media Discord, who've been cheering us on throughout the year before we opened this server. Everyone who listens to the podcasts that are part of the farm community, thank you. This would not be possible to do if you weren't supporting all of the work of Fox and Raven Media Media. Those of you who've donated to Books to Prisoners already, we have raised over $700 for this really important charity. It is the favorite charity of Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, and we are happy to support them again this year. Last year, we raised over $2,000. We've already raised $700, and the silent auction hasn't even begun. If you want to donate, you still can at spoilercon.org. There's a donation button. Please, we were really happy to make the event free this year. And if you don't have money to spare, times are tough. That's totally fine. We're happy to have you. But if you do and want to throw some money towards this important charity that supports helping others who may not have access to books to be able to read the kinds of things we all love to read, please do so. And then just all of our Wheel of Time content creators, not only for the work you're doing for SpoilerCon, but just it's really important these days that we have ways to keep our spirits up. The Wheel of Time has been that for me since the mid-90s. I know it's been that way for many others. And I just want to thank everyone who puts in the hard work to create content that the rest of us can enjoy. So thank you for myself on behalf of Fox and Raven Media and on behalf of the planning committee and everyone at SpoilerCon. So I wanted to take some time to thank everyone who's made this possible. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for all the work everyone has done and for coming together this weekend. And now I'd like to turn things over to Seth Jacobson, who is the creator of Fox and Raven Media. He is the host and creator of the Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast and all of the other material there. So Seth, over to you.
The whole part much harder of the credits. I also want to shout out John Algen for the years of hard work and editing he's put into making this podcast possible from behind the scenes. We have an amazing group of over 200 registered guests, panelists, and attendees. I'm amazed by the turnout, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time with all the hard work the planning committee has put into this weekend, excuse me. Now, I love to talk people's ears off about the Wheel of Time, and I think that's been true since the first time I picked up the Eye of the World around 95. I've been lucky to find friends in my life who also read the Wheel of Time. While I was lifeguarding as a teenager, I debated who killed Asmodean with my manager. In college, I picked my roommate because he'd read the Wheel of Time, and we waited years for Crossroads of Twilight. My best friend out of college told me he'd read The College, although it was after Jordan's death, and we thought it would never be finished. And finally, when I moved to Oregon, I met my new roommate, Patrick. And when we shook hands, he had the Aiel chapter header tattoo on his arm. For 5 years, we talked Wheel of Time and drank, and the more inebriated we got, the more we talked about making a podcast. When Patrick left town to take the PCT, I had no one to talk to about the Wheel of Time. So I started to record the Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast all by myself, and it was terrible. I destroyed everything and gave it up for lost. Sometime after Patrick got back into town, I asked him to help me move. While I had him captive, I got him to agree to record episode 0 about why we like the Wheel of Time. I also gave him a black eye, but I blame the washing machine for that one. For more than 3 years, Patrick and I recorded the podcast together and built this great community. Although he's no longer recording episodes, he'll always be a part of the podcast. I'm extremely excited to have Aradia as my main current co-host, as she has been commenting and participating with us since nearly the very beginning. And if you've been listening, you know her opinion makes it onto the podcast nearly as much as mine. She also started Broken Earth Spoilers podcast, which I get to be a guest on every once in a while. It's a fantastic look at the social issues and geology of that amazing trilogy from the spoilers perspective. So where did this con come from? Well, about 2 years ago, Patrick and I agreed to meet a few people at a bar just to talk about Wheel of Time in what we jokingly called Spoilercon. Way more people RSVP'd than we imagined, and all of a sudden, we had to reserve an Airbnb to fit everyone in a single space. I think anyone who was there can tell you we ran into a few snags, but also had a blast. Last year, we actually planned it out, and the in-person con was one of the most amazing experiences I've had in my life. If you've been to JordanCon and felt the energy there, you know what I'm talking about. There's something unique about hanging out with other Wheel of Time fans. This year, due to COVID, we had to move the con online. It turns out it's opened it up to an amazing number of people who would not have otherwise been able to be here in person. Welcome to Spoilercon. I'd encourage you to think of the YouTube channel as a panel with an audience, and the Discord server as the rest of the hotel that you can hang out in. There are channels for the costume contest, topic discussions, and channels where you can socialize to your heart's content, and a bunch more. The next few folks on the planning committee will tell you about the schedule, the rules, and talk about a few of our panels. But before they do, to celebrate all those fans of Wheel of Time, I want to play you this video put together by John L. Jen and voiced by members of the Wheel of Time spoilers community.
Have a care, to Viren does not mean immortal.
The wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Run if you want. You can't escape me.
I will run no more.
The Dark One is after you three, one or all. And if I let you go running off wherever you want to go, he will take you. Whatever the Dark One wants, I oppose. So hear this and know it true. Before I let the Dark One have you, I will destroy you myself.
Remember your oath, my heart, because I surely will.
Some of us are bound no longer. The seals weaken, Aes Sedai. Like Ishamael, we walk the world again, and the rest of us will come.
The world just changed, Elaine. It just changed in a very large way. And I have a terrible feeling that this is only the beginning.
If you are not mine, then you are dead.
There's one rule above all others to be a man. Whatever comes, face it on your feet.
This war has not lasted 10 years, but since the beginning of time. You and I have fought 1,000 battles with the turning of the wheel, 1,000 times 1,000, and we will fight until time dies and the shadow is triumphant.
Run when you have to. Fight when you must. Rest when you can.
You always choose women who cause you trouble, Luz Theron.
I'm clinging to that tuft of grass on the cliff's lip, praying for it to hold one more heartbeat. If you fail, I am worse than dead. I must see you win and live.
My husband rides from World's End toward Tarwin's Gap, toward Tarmangadon. Will he ride alone?
He came like the wind, touched everything, and like the wind, was gone.
Blood of bloody ashes.
One man holding 50 at a narrow passage. Not a bad way to die. Songs have been made about less.
Duty is heavier than a mountain. Death is lighter than a feather.
Yearly human. Surely we are something more.
In wars, boy, fools kill other fools for foolish causes.
You are just stupid enough to do that, aren't you, Matrim Coffin?
I dare the truth, Elida. You are a coward and a tyrant.
Do you remember Hawkwing's face, Toy?
That is the kind of courage expected from the Queen of Andor.
He made me, him and his burning eyes. He made me his hound.
Death comes for us all. We can only choose how to face it when it comes.
He is born again. I feel him. The dragon takes his first breath on the slopes of Dragon Mount. He is coming. He is coming. Light, help us. Light, help the world.
By the way, that dress you were wearing is green.
Till shade is gone, till water is gone, into the shadow with teeth bared, screaming defiance with the last breath, to spit in Sightblinder's eye on the last day.
You humans are so hasty.
Storm is coming.
Be wary of dreams, Paranibara. Be very wary of dreams.
One of them? Which is Avienda?
Kneel and swear to the Lord Dragon, or you will be melt.
Have you forgotten the Black Aja?
You!
You fool. Am I not allowed to be a hero too?
Isn't that video amazing? I have seen it a dozen times and I can't get enough of it, even though my voice is in it and I find it pretty distracting. You can guess which character I'm playing if you recognize my voice. You can see that video, by the way, on YouTube as many times as you want, and you'll become like the rest of us and rewatch it many, many times. So thanks for playing that. We hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna move on just with some kind of logistics and other things you need to know about. So I'm gonna just start out with the boring stuff, but the really important stuff, which is the rules. All of you agreed to the rules when you registered and again when you joined the Discord server, but it's just kind of important to keep them in mind. Basically, all we want is this to be a welcoming, positive space for all of us to enjoy over the next couple of days. If you want to debate the merits of Gawain's character over which Aiel would make the best decathlon athlete, knock yourselves out. But let's try to shut out the rest of the world and try to avoid topics that are not related to the books, just so that we can all kind of have a space to enjoy and have a nice breath of fresh air and forget about all the troubles of the world to the greatest extent possible. So I'm going to ask that all of you help us out, and in the YouTube chat and in the Discord chat, that you obey this code of conduct that you see on the screen, and that you do your part to make sure that we're having an interesting, respectful, fun conversation that's not going to incite any kinds of arguments or anything else. A couple things I want to point out from here. First of all, spoilers. The event is named Spoilercon for a reason. The Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast, I don't think this has been announced yet, 300 episodes we are at, which is amazing. And congratulations to Seth and Patrick and Aradia for all your hard work and everyone who contributes to that. But the key is that it is a spoilers podcast. So that means you run the risk of being spoiled on the Wheel of Time, on key plot points and character development. So if you are new to the series, you just need to be aware of that is a risk. We ask that people don't deliberately spoil people and just like drop spoilers for the sake of it. But in the course of conversation, things are going to get mentioned. What we do ask is that if you want to talk about Broken Earth or Mistborn or Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, we have channels channels on the Discord for that and specific events for that. So we do ask that those spoilers, please keep those contained to those channels, because many people here are Wheel of Time fans who haven't read those series yet. So if you're in those events or in those channels, go ahead, but otherwise try to keep those out of the common room space or on YouTube chats that are unrelated to those events. But if you get spoiled, we just wanted to make sure you were warned ahead of time. And please don't spoil other series for other people. Just kind of keep that in mind. Second is, you can see here very prominently that we are not going to tolerate any kind of behavior that would make this an unsafe place for our attendees. We do have a mod team and a security person who are going to be on call the whole weekend to try to make sure that discussions in the community go well. But we ask everyone to do their part in making sure that there are no comments that are being made or behaviors that are being made that are going to make this an unpleasant experience for anyone. And we will not tolerate any of that. So if you do experience any kind of harassment or bullying or any of these other kinds of comments, please let a mod know immediately. The way you can do that is in the Discord server. If you type the @ symbol and then mod, M-O-D, that will send a mention notice to every single mod on the channel, and we can take action immediately to delete any comments and, if necessary, ban that person from Spoilercon. Again, I don't expect that to happen. The community has always been wonderful, but we want to make sure it stays that way. So please obey the rules and help us out and let us know if there are any problems that we can address. Okay, now I'm going to turn things over to DT. He is the one who created the amazing Spoilercon Discord server that everyone is already enjoying, and he's going to walk you through how to use that server if you are new to Discord. So DT, on to you.
All right. Awesome. So yeah, you guys are all here on YouTube, so welcome. And of course, you're going to treat Discord kind of like the rest of the hotel, like she said. So the slide that's up right now, you guys will see, is the first thing you see when you join the Discord server is the agree to the rules, and it's the only thing you can see. Just got to go down to the bottom there and click the agree button. And that's real simple, and that's going to kick you into the rest of the server and open things up for you so you can see everything else. After that, the thing you're going to see, basically, you've got your entry hall, which is going to, here we go. The entry hall is the agree to the rules, which you've already done. Choose your Ajah. You can just go in there and click one of the colored buttons to choose whichever Ajah you like. Basically, that's going to give everybody different colored names on the server and keep things a little diverse and colorful. The common room, this is, as Talir was saying, the spoiler-free section, as spoiler-free as we can keep it, the common room section. It's just all the general chat, keep it in there. And then we've got 4 other discussion channels for you guys, which are, of course, are based on the spoilers series that we cover, the Wheel of Time books and the show and the Cosmere and the Broken Earth. And then we've got an audio channel. Feel free to hop in there and gab away to your heart's content. Moving into the events, the top, oh, can we go back one slide there? There we go. Back in the events, we got the YouTube link there, real easy to find. If you lose it, just go there and click on that link. It'll bring you to the YouTube for all of your events. All the events are in the YouTube except for the trivia, basically, and the costume contest and the auction, which we'll be talking about in a second. The announcements, every event will get an announcement that'll come out 15 minutes beforehand. That's where you'll find it. Schedule's posted there, and that shows you when everything's happening. And if you want to see a detailed description of what those events are in the schedule, hop down to the what are the events. As we all know, our main event is the Kramer Redding event. Is going to be just awesome. It's just amazing. They're going to be reading from the Wheel of Time, and they'll be doing some question and answer. So if you have something you'd like to ask them, pop it in the Ask Kramer Redding channel there, and we will be choosing a few of them to ask them. And of course, we have a lot of different guests in all our different panels, awesome panels all weekend, and you can find links to all of those guests in the special guest links channel. And at the bottom there, we have the trivia. And we're going to do a section later on about the trivia, so I won't get too far into that other than read how it works and how the game works. Tonight at 7:30 p.m., we have the Watt Creator Showdown, which is a spectator-only event. So all the teams are preset of a lot of your favorite Wheel of Time content creators are going to be facing off in a trivia. So you'll get to kind of see how the trivia works. To participate in that, you'll need to go down and click the Player Spectator channel and choose the spectator role. And that's going to kick you into there. And then you see on the right there the auction channel that's going to be popping up and the costume, those open at 3 o'clock. So you'll see those channels arrive there at 3 o'clock once everything's open. And I think that pretty much takes care of everything for the Discord.
Thanks, DT. Sorry about the slide shenanigans.
That's all right.
Wanted to do some of its own things. Really appreciate that coverage. If you do have additional questions about the Discord channel, and we do hope those of you in YouTube will come and join us in the Discord. Great conversations going on both over chat and over voice. If you do have any other questions, you can ask in the Q&A in YouTube or in Discord. We do have an Ask a Mod channel. And please just head there if you have any questions, and a mod will get back to you ASAP. Okay, next up is going to be Canadian Kelsey. We have two Kelseys, as many frequent listeners of the podcast will know. And Kelsey is our events coordinator, and she is going to walk us through the schedule. Over to you, Kelsey.
Awesome. Thank you, Talir. Hi, everybody. This is Kelsey, aka Canadian Kelsey, aka Kelsey Namespeaker for everybody in Discord. So thank you again. I don't think any of the committee members can say it enough. Thank you so much for joining our online con. It's so awesome that there are over 200 of you attending this weekend. I want to again thank our special guests for their patience and their communication over the past few months. As we've pulled this event together, because honestly, without our special guests, we really wouldn't have any events for you to be a part of. So thank you very much. We have specialized panels with some very special guests. We have a few live podcast recordings. We have a few different trivia events, open Discord server for all you attendees to chat in. We have a costume contest, live stream artists, the silent auction, of course, and last but not least, the very special live appearance by Michael Kramer and Kate Reading. So I'm going to run through each event in a bit more detail here. Then we'll discuss the silent auction and costume contest a little bit later. You can follow along if you like while I do this. Just go into the Discord under the schedule channel and or the what are the events channel. So the first event today is at 3 p.m. and it's a live Broken Earth Spoilers podcast recording of a chapter from the 5th season, the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy. Your host, Aradia, with special guest Leslie, host of Stuck on Arrakis, will be taking a deep dive, spoiler style, into one of the chapters. So make sure to only hop into that event if you're expecting spoilers. It's in the name, people. This will be streamed to YouTube, so feel free to interact with the podcasters on YouTube during the recording, sharing your insights and responding to theirs. Also at 3 p.m., that DT mentioned briefly, we have the silent auction website that will be open for bidding. And also starting at 3 p.m., the costume contest channel will be unlocked, but we'll again go into these details a little bit later on in the opening ceremonies. So next at 4:30 p.m., we have our very first panel titled Die on Mintz Hill Viewing Debates, with Seth as the moderator and special guests Maria Simmons, Ariel Burgess, Corey Lansdale, and Jen from Talk Around Riyadh podcast. They will discuss some of Min's unfulfilled and lesser known viewings and hash out what they think they mean. This event will be streamed on YouTube as well, so make sure to head to this YouTube channel and join in the chat. All right, after that, at 6 p.m., we have Rachel live streaming to our YouTube channel while she works on a, let's say, very matte-inspired piece of art drawn with fire. This artwork will be available for purchase after Spoilercon at her website, but you can also chat with Rachel while she's live streaming to get more details and to ask questions while she works. Our last event of the day today will be the much anticipated Content Creator Trivia Showdown at 7:30. We have 25 teams for this event, guys, but I'm going to let DT, our trivia master, discuss this event and other trivia games a little bit later on. So this brings us to Saturday's events. Again, we kick the morning off with more trivia at 9 a.m. in the Discord server. Then at 10 a.m., we will greet the infamous Michael Kramer and Kate Reading for a live reading from the Wheel of Time and a Q&A session. If you have any burning questions for these lovely basement nerds, please post your questions in the Ask Kramer Reading channel in Discord. We're going to prep as many questions as possible ahead of time. This event will be held on YouTube as well, so make sure you interact with the YouTube chat, as we may even take some questions and comments from the crowd during the Q&A session. Our next panel is going to be Coasting Through the Cosmere at 12 p.m. tomorrow with fan guests Moradin, Cody, and Murtaugh from the Watt Spoilers Discord community. Their moderator is our one and only Michiel Talier. So join them on YouTube as they step away from the Wheel of Time and enter the Cosmere, Brando Sando's linked universe for fantasy series such as Mistborn and the Stormlight Archive. Again, this panel, like all our panels, contains spoilers. So if you haven't read anything Cosmere related, maybe wait until you have and then come back to this later. All things Cosmere related may be reflected on and discussed except for the Rhythm of War. That one is going to be a Rapho situation. So after this panel, we will have the Witch Aja Fantasy Characters panel at 1:30 p.m. with yours truly moderating. You can join in the discussion on YouTube with special guests Maria, Jason Denzel, Jess and Jen from the White Tower podcast, Brett from the Wheel Weaves podcast, and Tom DeSimone as we sort who would go into which Aja and why. Samwise, McGonagall, Kelsier, Tuon, and more will be debated. And hey, we may even ask the audience to give some character suggestions. Then at 3 p.m., also on YouTube, we have the long-awaited Trial of the Fourth Age. Varen Mathwin stands accused of crimes against humanity. Is she innocent or is she guilty? The heroes of the Horn have been asked to settle this matter and have called on key witnesses to participate in a tribunal. Listen in and decide for yourself whether she would be punished or rewarded for her actions. This event will have some flair and pizzazz, my friends, so you don't want to miss out. Then afterwards, at 4:30 p.m., we have another trivia session hosted on the Discord. Then from 4 to 6 p.m. on YouTube, watch Corey Lansdale from Third Age Art live stream an epic Wheel of Time themed piece. You are also welcome to interact with him on YouTube as he works and ask questions and chat. After that, at 6 p.m. on YouTube, we have a Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast live recording. This is a special episode. It's going to cover Perrin in the Ways from the Unfettered collection. Join Seth, Aradia, and the Talk Around Riyadh crew as they dive in spoiler style. Questions and interaction is, of course, encouraged. And I repeat, spoilers abound. Also at 6 p.m., we are going to close the silent auction and the costume contest. So we're going to talk again about those in a bit more detail in a little bit of time here. So lastly, at 8 p.m., we are going to bid farewell to Spoilercon Online 2020 with some closing ceremonies. Closing ceremonies will include announcing our costume contest winners, a few silent auction winners, verdicts from the panels, trivia winners, thank yous, and more. All right, guys, if you have any questions about the schedule, you can either hit the schedule channels in the Discord or please hold them until the end of our opening ceremonies as we may be able to answer them in the minutes to come. You can also message me directly on Discord if it's a private question, or feel free to tag a moderator once opening ceremonies are finished. So now I'm going to pass the torch over to my wonderful Texas twin to explain the costume contest. Thanks, everybody.
Hey everyone, I'm here to tell you the rules of the costume contest and how it's going to work. So some of you have already submitted your submissions to the costume contest, and we appreciate that so much. These are going to be posted in the costume parade channel. To briefly go over the rules, which were sent to you via email. Again, you must have been registered for the con to participate, and we ask that you generally stick within farm projects, fantasy. That said, you know, we welcome all fantasy-related costumes. No political or religious statements, profanity. We just want to keep it fun and professional. Again, no offensive content, no nudity, overt sexuality, or excessive gore. And most of all, have fun. Next slide, please. So the categories we have are People's Choice, and this is going to be photo format, and there will be an emoji at the bottom of the submission where you can cast your vote for People's Choice. There's also best delivery of an in-character line. These are going to be short 15-second videos that are posted on the Costume Parade channel as well. And then there is the best in show, which is going to be determined by our panel of judges. Important point, please do not vote more than one time for each category. So for People's Choice, you're going to be making a vote for just the photo submission. For best delivery of an in-character line, you're going to be voting just for those video options. Some people have submitted both a photo and a video for their character, and you are able to vote for that person per each category. Our panel of judges is going to be our farm showrunners, Seth and Aradia, and also the White Tower podcast, Amerlin, Jess. Now, they have made submissions to the costume contest, but they will not be part of the judging. They're just participating for fun. So go ahead and take a look. If you have not made a submission yet, it is not too late. That will be ending tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's okay if you don't have a lot of things on hand. I put together something with stuff I had at home. The most important thing is to go out there and show us your cosplay. Thank you guys, and look forward to seeing your submissions. Here is an example of what it looks like on the Discord channel. So we have character, the name. Jess kindly provided a cosplay that she did, the Shame Nun from Game of Thrones, a description that you will provide with your submission, things that you thought were interesting about your costume or challenges you faced, and then the little emoji at the bottom. You're able to submit up to 3 images or a video clip. So looking forward very much to seeing your submissions.
Thanks, Kelsey. I want to just clarify one thing. We're going to accept submissions through noon Pacific time tomorrow, and then the voting will continue until 6 p.m. I know we're throwing a lot of times at everyone. We need to, we want to accept submissions as long as possible, but then our judges, as Kelsey mentioned, are going to be on a lot of panels. So they need to be able to have a time to look at all the submissions and make their decisions for best in show. So if you are planning to submit, you still have time until noon Pacific tomorrow. Voting continues until 6 p.m. and then we'll announce the winners at closing ceremony. So thanks so much, Kelsey. We're actually going to go back to Canadian Kelsey now, who's going to talk to us about the silent auction. So Canadian Kelsey, welcome back.
Hello, long time no see. So guys, we have many friggin' awesome items for you all to bid on this weekend. The whole community just came through and we have a ton of items that I'm so stoked to share with you. So there is a Wheel of Time companion donated by Bandersnatch, signed by Maria, Alan, and Harriet, and it includes a bookplate signed by Robert Jordan himself. There's also some lovely packages and items donated by a few of our very own What Spoilers Discord Ajas, and there's a 15-second private recording from Michael Kramer and Kate reading themselves. I mean, come on, haven't we all wanted a birthday song sung to us by Lan? Or have Matt announce that there's a baby on the way? I mean, now's your chance. So, how do you participate in the silent auction, you ask? Head on over to the auction link channel in the Discord and I will walk you through the directions. I'm going to do this somewhat quickly, so if you have any questions after I'm done, please feel free to message me or post them in the auction chat channel. So firstly, ignore the pretty logo and link that you see at the top. Scroll down to the comment that says what to do first. Basically, if you haven't done so already, you need to go to 32auctions.com and create a free account. When you head to the regular website to create your free account, click on the login button on the top right of the screen. It will take you to a screen that will prompt you to create a new account, and heads up, it's in small words underneath where you would normally add in your login information. So after creating your account, you can then happily click on the website link, 32auctions.com/Spoilercon2020. After you've created your account and clicked on the Spoilercon link, you should be able to see all of the items available for bid. To actually bid on these items, you need to request access from an administrator. So when you are at the homepage for the Spoilercon auction site, click on the big green View All Items button. A yellow banner should pop up prompting you to request access to participate. Click that. Another small window will pop up and click the Submit Request button. After you do this, an admin will approve your request, and within a few minutes, you should receive an email that says your request was approved. In that email, click the View This Auction button, and ta-da, you are in. I know this sounds like a lot, but if you were ahead of the game and created your account early, you can go straight into clicking the specific link and request access right away. I tried to list all the details in point form on the auction link channel in the Discord, which reviews all of the steps that I just said. But if you are having trouble creating your account or anything, shoot me a message or ask in the silent auction chat channel. One very important note about this Spoilercon 2020 auction link. We are only granting access to people who are registered for the con. We do not want this link going public for anyone and everyone to be able to bid on items. These items are for you guys only. So that being said, myself and Aradia will be approving requests over this next hour and a bit and checking emails to make sure those of you who are requesting access are actually registered for the con. So, as there are over 200 of you attending this event, I ask that you please bear with us as we try and approve everyone as soon as we can, but please expect that it may take a few minutes before you receive your access granted email. The auction opens today at 3 p.m. or, in 15 to 20 minutes. So it closes at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and most of the items, but not all of them, require the winning bidder to also pay for shipment of the item. So keep that in mind when you're making bids. Once the auction is over, the winning bidder will receive an invoice for their item. Once that invoice is paid, you will be put in touch with the donor of the item to discuss shipping details. After you receive your invoice from Seth, you will have 24 hours to pay for your item that you bid on. If you do not pay this invoice within those 24 hours, we will move on to the next bidder in line. Again, this was a lot of information to dump at you guys, so please feel free to ask questions, check out the auction links in the Discord, and shoot me a message if there's any concerns or problems that you're having. So with all that being said, thank you for your patience. I'm going to hand this off now to DT to chat about all of the things that are trivia. Thanks.
Thanks, Kelsey. Over to you, DT.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So like we said, we have a couple different trivia events. The trivia all takes place on the Discord. So there's no YouTube. It's right there. So going back to that, where you see the trivia section at the bottom of the Discord server, when you select player or spectator, and you can only pick one. So this first slide is what you will see if you select player. So at the bottom, you will see the player registration voice channel appear. That is how you register for the open games that are taking place on Saturday. Anybody can be a player in those two games. There's one in the morning and there's one in the evening. So what you do is you just go to that player registration and you click and you connect to it. You'll see your name pop into the channel and you're there. It is a voice channel, but it's not meant for the purposes of chatting. There's no chatting. It's just to register yourself, and then you can kind of do your own thing while you're registered. You need to be in there before the game starts. So I recommend popping in there, say 15 minutes beforehand, so that the game runners can kind of get an idea how big the game is and start to select their teams. And what we'll be doing is we will be sorting you into your teams and pushing you into team channels. This next slide is going to show you what you will see once you are assigned a team channel. You will then see the in-game chat pop up. This is where all the different teams can kind of pop in and chat with each other and trash talk, whatever you want to do. And you'll also see importantly, your 3 team channels. The first is your team, in this case, team 1's channel. If you're on team 1, that's where all the questions will show up. That's where you'll kind of want to be looking to read them. Everybody will be in their team 1 voice channel. That's where you discuss the channels. And every team must submit or nominate a captain, and that captain will be responsible for typing the answers into the team answers channel. That's where the scorekeepers will be expecting your answers to be submitted by the time that the time is up. And they have to be in there, and please keep them all nice and neat and all that. And then we'll be able to see them and score them. So again, that's for the games tomorrow. You can be a player for both of those trivias. You can also be a spectator for both of those trivias and for the Watt Creator Showdown tonight. So this is what you'll see when you select the spectator. You'll have your own spectator chat. That is where the questions will also be sent to. You'll be able to watch the in-game chat where the teams are playing and conversing and trash talking, but you won't be able to speak in there. You'll just get to watch them go at it. And you'll also have access to see all the different teams' voice channels, and you can connect to any of them that you like. So for tonight, there's going to be 6 different teams of all different content creators. So you can kind of pop in and listen to one for a while. You can switch to another one. You can listen to all the different content creator teams as they play. You won't be able to talk in their channels. Obviously, the teams need to just have that for themselves, but you'll be able to listen to them. If you don't want to listen to them, but you guys just want to chat with each other while you hear the questions come out, you also have your own spectator voice channel. So it's also important to note that if you guys are talking about the answers, you do that in the spectator chat. You don't do that up in the common room or in any of the other discussion channels of the Discord. The spectator chat specifically cannot be seen by any of the players. So you're kind of free to talk about all the questions there. We don't want them getting any help from you guys. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of that. So tonight, spectator only. Tomorrow, you can choose which you want to do. You can be a player or a spectator. And I'm not sure who's next, so Toledo will pass it on.
That's okay. Thanks, DT. To get everyone in the spirit of trivia, I'm actually going to invite Aradia on now, as she has written many of the questions for trivia. And Aradia is going to give us actually a trivia challenge right now. Aradia, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I am here, and I have my stuff organized. So, to wet all of your whistles for actual trivia later, I want to ask you the question. I remember my question.
I have it on the slide.
What is...
Wait. Don't ask it yet. We want to make sure everyone knows what's going to happen here.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
Aradia is going to give you a trivia question, and you all can answer it in the YouTube chat. Whoever answers it first will win a guaranteed spot in one of the trivia games tomorrow. There's only 64 spots in those games. There's over 200 of you. So this is a great way to make sure that you're going to get your spot. So Aradia is going to ask the question. We're going to be watching that YouTube chat to see who's the first to correctly answer the question. All right, I hope everyone's ready. Aradia, you ready?
I'm ready. Now I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, the question is, what is the name of the horse that Rand rode out of the two rivers?
No
Get
cheating.
Way back into your eye of the world stuff.
The main rule in trivia is no cheating, no looking anything up. Be fair. If you know it, great. If you don't, that's fine too.
And what should I give the answer? I don't know.
Well, let's wait. Ah, we have an answer.
We do?
Yes. Cheyenne Sedai correctly answered cloud. Aradia, looks like you got some competition tonight.
Oh dear.
Cheyenne Sedai, we will be in touch with you. DT will be in touch with you to make sure you get in whichever of the two games tomorrow you want to play in. So thank you so much for everyone playing around. Seems like a lot of people got it.
Good job, guys.
And, yeah, well done. All right, thanks, Aradia. Next up, I'm going to invite Leah on. She is our communications director. And Leah, if you want to come on and just tell everyone how they can follow what we're doing and tell us what they're doing on social media.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So happy to have you here. I'm sure most of you have seen me already chatting you up in the Discord. Things that you can also do in addition to Discord is if you want to follow us on all the other social media platforms, we have Facebook at facebook.com/Spoilercon. We're also on Instagram at Spoilercon and on Twitter at, shocker, guess what it is, at Spoilercon. Throughout the weekend, we'd love to see you guys on all the other social media platforms. If you want to take a break from Discord, just make sure to hashtag us. So hashtag Spoilercon and hashtag Spoilercon2020. And you can continue to tag us not only throughout the weekend, but as we move forward in the future. If you think of Spoilercon and miss us and want to reach out to all your Spoilercon friends, that's a great way to do it. And we will continue to post about Spoilercon after it ends, and all those sites are a great way, in addition to the newsletter, to get more information. So we'll be seeing you around Discord. Have a great one. Enjoy. And I'll turn it back over to our Mihail.
Thanks so much. I'm actually going to stop the share now. and invite any questions. I'm going to ask you, I don't know if there have been any questions on YouTube. If you have any questions for the planning committee, we are happy to help you, whether they are big or small. So get those into the YouTube, and we will do what we can to answer them. Jess, do we have any questions so far?
Nothing yet, Captain.
Okay. Well, if you do have any questions, it's great. I mean, if there's no questions, it sounds like we've answered them already. So good job, us. I'm sure questions will come up throughout the weekend. If you have them during any event, as you know, most of our events are going to be on YouTube. This was mentioned earlier. The only exceptions are all trivia competitions are only on Discord. So if you want to either watch our amazing content creator trivia showdown tonight and find out which team knows the Wheel of Time best, then you can be a spectator, but it's on Discord. If you want to play in trivia tomorrow, those are on Discord. Getting to see the amazing costumes that people have submitted and voting on them, that's in Discord. And in just a few minutes, the link to the silent auction will open. Bidding will take place on the 32 auction site, but the information, of course, is going to be on Discord. The item that's up for auction that was not mentioned, which I think is pretty great, is a guest spot on the Wheel of Time Spoilers podcast. So for all of you listeners who have maybe wanted to get to talk to Seth and Aradia directly about the Wheel of Time, you can bid on that spot and get a spot talking, not just any spot. They are auctioning off the ability to be a guest on the chapter on Dumai's Wells, which is one of the most important chapters in the entire series. So I expect that item to raise a lot of money for Books to Prisoners. But pretty much everything else is going to take place here on YouTube. So if you do have questions, you can always ask during events. We will have moderators on the YouTube to help. You can go into Discord. Everyone's really friendly on Discord. Lots of people know how things are working even better than the planning committee. Everyone will help you there. But if you need a mod, you can go into the Ask a Mod channel and ask us a question, or at any time, if you just type the @ symbol and mod and then write your question, one of us will show up to give you an answer. Keep in mind time zones. It might be a perfectly normal time for you, but 2 a.m. For some of us mods. So if you don't get an answer right away, that might be why, but we will make sure you get an answer to your question. You can also always email us at spoilercon@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as well. Jess, while I've been sort of pontificating, have we had any questions come in?
Negative, Commander. Ken asked us to go over the auction stuff again, and I yelled at him. So otherwise, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I realized that we kind of went through the auction stuff pretty quickly, but the auction channel will open in Discord as soon as these opening ceremonies close. And I promise you there is lengthy descriptions there on what to do in order to see the items and bid. The most important thing is you need to head to 32auctions.com to actually set up your account on that site. And then before you can bid, you will need to get approval. As Kelsey said, we want to make sure that the only people bidding on items are people who are registered for Spoilercon. So you have to be approved in order to bid. And then any items that you do win, you'll negotiate afterwards. We'll set up an invoice so you can pay it. And then you'll actually work directly with the donor to make sure it gets delivered if it's an item that needs to be shipped to you. So shipping gets worked out later. That's not included in any of bids because we have no idea where the people who win are going to be. This isn't like in the past where we could just hand you the item. So there will be plenty of information on the Discord on that. I'm also seeing
another quick question.
Yeah, please.
Daniel asked if we are going to announce anything about the 2021 con at the closing ceremonies.
Great question. And the answer is yes. We do plan to discuss 2021 at the closing ceremonies. So you're going to want to stay to the end and don't miss it so you can hear some of what we have planned for next year. So, all right. Well, I am really excited to let you know that our next event is going to be a live broadcast of the Broken Earth Spoilers podcast with our own Aradia and Leslie of the Stuck on Arrakis podcast. So we're going to officially call Spoilercon2020 Online open. Welcome and have fun over the next couple of days.